As part of our yesterday session, we understood very clearly how linked list is working internally when we were comparing with the array list, and I mean individually how linked list is working and how many types of linked list we are having, and what is the default linked list being created in our Java. So whenever we created a linked list object, those are all details we discussed. So especially linked list is all about a sequence of nodes, and node will contain the data. Data means what values we are storing is all about data, and as well as it will have one more section like pointer to the next node, pointer of next node or reference of next node. Simply we can call it as a reference to the next node. So and similarly we have one more node like where we are having three parts like previous node reference, next node reference and data reference. So this will be created as part of doubly linked list and circular linked list. And by default in Java, whenever we created a linked list object, internally it will create a double linked list object. That means every node will have its own, every node will have a previous node reference as well as a next node reference. So it will have all both side, left hand side, right hand side nodes references, adjacent nodes references. Okay, so when it comes to single linked list point of view, so we will have a node and node doesn't have any previous node reference. In this case, only next node reference. There is no previous node reference. Okay, it only next node reference. So only next node reference we will have, not previous one. So next, but it doesn't have any previous nodes information. And simply circular linked list point of view, yes, I said. So generally we used to call first node as a head node, last node as a tail node. And when it comes to the by default in the double linked list point of view, head node doesn't have any previous node reference, and as well as tail node will tail means last node will doesn't have any next node reference because that is the last. It doesn't have any right hand side node or adjacent node, right? So that's why. But circular linked list point of view, again tail is getting connected to the head level. So tail will have head reference, head will have tail reference. So it's forming a circle in this case. So that's why we used to call it as a circular linked list point of view in this case. So you don't worry too much about all this, but just at least awareness purpose, what is a double linked list, what is a single linked list, what is a circular linked list, how it will form internally. So if you are having this information is enough. And the basic linked list operations like addition, adding, removing and all, that's more enough when you are attending the interviews. And when you want deeper level knowledge, then you have to pursue the DSA courses and everything. And so when you want to get a job with respect to a service based or MNC based companies, so it's more enough this kind of this level of knowledge. So if you, I mean, if you are getting good knowledge internally in and depth, it's okay, no one will stop you. So just proceed and try to get more knowledge, and it will definitely help you somewhere else to get more better opportunities than regular opportunities like that. Okay, so that's all about the array list what we taken, and I explained you. So one when we are doing the insert operations, how node management is happening. So whenever we are doing the node insertion in a specific position, only previous node and next node point of view, some small adjustments will happen. Similarly, deletion point of view also, when we deleted something, only previous node and next nodes of that respective node deleted, right? So those will be updated with the next node's references. So it's just very simple point of view we can understand. But when it comes to the array list, it is more adjustments will happen. So it's all index management will happen. Lot of index management will happen. So that's why we understood yesterday when it comes to what data structure we have to take with respect to list. When you are doing more number of times insertions and deletions, your requirement is involving more number of insertions and more number of deletions. Okay, so then it's better to go with linked list. So your requirement is demanding only read operation, the data you are receiving, and you have to store it, and then you have to do only read operations. Then it's better to go with we have to better to go with array list. So that is how you have to explain in the interviews differences between linked list and array list point of view. Okay, so I given you a couple of frequently asking questions also in interviews with respect to experienced people also. These questions will be triggered, and then please be prepared. And once they are started answering theory, then internally they will ask how it will behave in the insert time, delete time. So what is the time complexity like that? They will people will ask. So just you'll go in and depth. They'll go in and depth while you're answering all these questions. Okay. So vector is a class, and after that I explained what is a vector. So vector is similar to array list only. So why I said similar to array list is the internal functionality of vector is also similar to array list only. Similar to array list only. That means it is also vector also internally using same dynamic array point of view or using arrays concept only. So linked list and array list point of view, we have a lot of contradiction. Like that is different, this is different. Linked list is nowhere using something like arrays. It is using some nodes, all these pointers, references, all this. But vector is as it is array list only. But why they created a vector class is all about they implemented as that a thread safety. Array list is by default not thread safety. So that means in a threading environment, whenever you want to involve an object in a multi-threading environment, so where your object has to be shared by multiple threads to process some requirement, then you have to, if you are choosing vector by default, what will happen, only one thread will be allowed at a time to access this vector object, one after another will be allowed one. So that means finally at one at a time, but in this case you don't have guarantee, so all threads will access your array list at a time, so that sometimes you will see data inconsistency, so some challenges you will have. So that's why in a multi-threading environment you can use this, that is how people will say. But at the same time what Java is saying is, which is a better to go, either array list or vector, means when you are working, I mean when your requirement is all about not a multi-threading environment logic you are writing, then it's go better to go with array list over the vector. And even though you want to protect your object as a multi-threading or thread safe, if you want to make array list as a thread safe, so simply the question is like that. So the question is, can we make array list as thread safe or not? As thread safe or not? Yes, we can do that. So for that, what collections, from the collections class. So we have a collections class in this case, not interface. Collection is an interface. Collections is a class. So collections is a class. Collection is a interface. But we have a collections class in the same collection framework, and here we have synchronize list method. So let me show you that. Yeah, this one. So now what will happen? This will give, so you are passing an array list to this method. You are passing an array list to this method. Yeah. So simple, what it will do is, so it will synchronize the array list. That means now finally your array list is converted as a thread safe. See here, thread safe. So what is that method you have to use is this one. You have to use. Okay, so that is how you can convert existing array list also as a thread safe by calling this method from this class and by passing the array list object. So Java is, most of the people will use sometimes this option also instead of using vector. So like that. But vector by default thread safe. So whenever sometimes what will happen, your logic or you are working in a not, I mean you are not working in multi-threading environment. So if you are taking vector will decrease the performance, because the reason is why every time it is checking how many threads are working and at a time. Okay, only one thread is allowed. Even the read operation point of view also only one thread is allowed. So like that, it will decrease the performance. But array list is all about multi-threading. It's no thread safe means sometimes you don't need to worry about threads. Let them access all at a time also. For example, you're doing read operation, something like that. Then there is no point of doing any multi-threading. Then it is performance wise, it is improved. Still it is requirement is demanding, then you can convert your array list as a vector. So that means you have a option here to convert as a thread shape. So that's why people will we use mostly array list in their classes, in their in their real-time examples point of view, or maybe in the implementation point of view. Okay, so that is all about list interface, and let's start looking about set interface. So here set is also, yeah, sorry, set is also similar to a list interface functionalities. I can write like this. Set functionality is also similar to list interface functionalities only. So that means it looks like whatever the operations we did in the list. Okay, so same point of view we are doing in this set. But the only difference, the main difference between set and list is, okay, the main difference between set and list is set will not allow duplicate values. Okay, but a list will allow. But list will allow. So this is the only one difference, main difference between set and list. So that means whenever, so how to choose list or set is, for example, your requirement is demanding, okay, your requirement is demanding like we have to collect or store only unique values, only unique values, like that. So then your requirement is very clearly demanding only unique values. Even though even though duplicate values are entered multiple times, even though same values are added many times. So that means even though I'm adding Dilip multiple times, but finally only one Dilip value should be available. Like that. So then you have to choose definitely set interface. So sometimes what will happen, your requirement will demand it, you have to collect duplicate names also. So then definitely you have to go with the list. For example, I'll tell you all students roll numbers. I want all student roll numbers I want to collect. Okay, then definitely set. Why? So roll numbers are always unique. So even though people are trying to enter a number one more time, but I have to maintain only one copy. So like that. So that means with respect to here, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Okay, this is all unique values. Now assume there is a scenario, a person entered again 3 value. So that means in this case, ultimately the final result is, okay. So what will happen here it is, this is how it will maintain only one value at a time. So finally 3 is available, but only one roll number 3 is available. The old one is got deleted. So simply I can say like overriding, or finally the result is what, it's maintaining only unique values. Now I entered 10, okay, now I entered 2, so it is already there. So that's why what will happen, it will override the existing value, or it will add the latest value and it will remove the new value. Sorry, it will remove the old value and it will keep the old value. Sorry, it will keep the new value. So finally, ultimately the result is maintaining only unique values. This is how set will happen. Now for example, I taken a, tomorrow I asked you to collect all student names or marks. Okay, all student marks, total marks or whatever it is. Then definitely what you will choose, set or list. Definitely we have to go with the list. You can't take set. If you are taking set, what will happen? There are, assume some students, 5 students got same marks. So count wise 5 students got, like everyone got triple, okay, double eight, triple eight point of view. Then what will happen? If you are taking set, only one student values will be captured as a triplet and remaining values will be ignored or maybe not made. So that's why if you take a list, what will happen? If you are added 5 times, 10 times, 100 times same value, it doesn't matter. So list will allow it. So that is how the main difference between set and list. So whatever the requirement is demanding, whatever feasible based on the situation, you have to choose either set or list. Based on the requirement, you have to go with that case. Okay. So now I'll tell you one more point with respect to set. For example, we know that now coding wise we know what we are going to do and all. That's why I'm not discussing more coding. I'll take example. Now for example, in the list or with respect to array list class, okay, so list, array list, linked list, and followed by vector. So these are the implemented classes, right? These are the classes. So all will allow same nature. All will show same nature with respect to values. Nothing but all will allow duplicates. Why? The list nature itself allowing the duplicates. So that's why its implemented classes will allow duplicates. So this point we discussed. Similarly now, the implemented classes of set. Okay, so the majorly two classes we have, the most mainly used classes. One is commonly people will use HashSet and comma TreeSet also. TreeSet also. So if you go here, yeah. So if you see here, this is the set interface we are discussing, HashSet and TreeSet. So sorted set is a interface. So what is a child interface of set interface? But I am directly explaining you what is a class and all. Okay. So linked HashSet, you just explore it. So it's all just like making linked list, like similar to linked list, linked HashSet. So it will allow it, I mean, it will maintain internally linked list point of view, but allow HashSet behaviors like that. Okay, but anyway, we will take HashSet and reset. That's more enough. Okay. Okay. So now we are looking more about set. Set. So here, what? All will not allow duplicates. So that is maintaining unique values. So this is what I given the overview of what set interface when comparing with the list interface also, and how to choose whether set or list. That is also I given you the details. Okay. Now let's go with an operations. Let's go with an operations and then we will try to see one important interview question from this set concept that I'll give. Okay, once we are done with basic operations, I'll tell you that. Okay, so let's start taking a project. Okay, let me take new. Yeah, I'll take new project itself, no problem. New. Okay, so I'm just taking a new project. Okay, my system is having 17. Let me install 21 also. Debian, Windows, installer. So we are directly working with Java 21, so that's why. Okay. So now Java 21 is installed. So you can use Java 17 also. My point is I thought in Eclipse we have Java 21 configuration. Let's make all training on the Java 21 itself. Yeah, 21, fine. Add JDK from disk. New project, Java project, selection hyphen framework. Yeah, 21, fine. So create. So now, okay. So now I just created the project. Let me take a basic class, Java class, and I'm taking set interface demo. Sorry. Okay. So let me create a good package names also. So it is suggesting Eclipse is sorry, this IntelliJ is suggesting what the package name, how you have to write and all. So we discussed all these things. Okay, so simple. It's just like I created a just Java class. I did main method and then followed by yeah. So I can't create object for the what set interface because we can create objects only for the implemented classes. So such a way, what I can do like this set. And here also you have to use I mean that generics concept. So set java dot util and I am taking okay. So I created what? Set object. Yeah, set dot add a b c d e f. Okay. So for example here I given again a value. So what will happen in this case? That's what is the nature of set. What is the if it is a list, what will happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values. Or I can do take names Dilip, Suresh, Naresh, like Alice. So here I will maintain again same Suresh. I'll maintain like this and see here. Yeah. So from this I'll prove couple of points. Set dot add Suresh. Okay. Okay. So total how many values I have added here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. Okay. Now how to know this size? Size is all about you know that you have to use set dot size. Okay. So then what will happen the moment you are executing the size? See what is the deep size? We added total 8 values, but the size is coming as 7. So what you have to observe from this? What is the point you have to observe here? It is so this is the set you added, right? Hmm. I think it's better to go with Eclipse only. Okay. So in this case, what we did? we added total 8 values, but we saw size as a 7. So why 7, why not 8? First of all, the point is it will not allow duplicate values. Now in such point of view, so I added Dilip, okay, fine. So Dilip is okay. Now Suresh, by the time there is no Suresh, Naresh, by the time there is no Naresh, Alice, by the time there is no Alice, Bob, there is no value. So all 5 values are unique values are added. Now Suresh I have added again. When it comes to this Suresh, already Suresh is presented. So already Suresh is presented. Now what I did, I added again Suresh. But why? Okay. And again I added again Suresh. Now in this case, which is a duplicate value? So first value, for the first time you added this one. Now when I am adding this value, if you are comparing these two values, these two are different values. These two are different values. How different values? Because it's a lower cases. So you know that in Java, uppercase, lowercase both are different. So now whenever I am taking third value point of view, so by the time Suresh is already existed. So that means this time this considering as a duplicate value. This is considering as a duplicate value. Similarly, Dilip point of view also. So the first time I added like this. D as a capital remaining are lowercase. Now in second time, spelling wise okay, but you know that single character is also changing, it will consider as a unique value, different value. So now this is a different value, this is a different value. So that is why only now with respect to Suresh point of view, you are having what? The duplicate value. And remaining all are unique values. So that's why, so you got size as 7. So if you had added same value 10 times also, but it will maintain only one copy. So whether it is right or wrong, see one more time. See, I added Dilip and Suresh again one more time. So that means we are added total 10 values, but the size will come again as a 7 only. The size will come again as a 7 only. And if you want, I will show you the values also. So size came as 7 and let's see the values also. Okay, I am printing directly set reference. It will work only for primitives and string values. Okay, if you see here, it maintained only one Suresh value, but not more than that. Even though you added it to second time, third time. And it maintained only one Dilip value up in the uppercase, but you added it 2 times. So that is the nature of list. That is the nature of list. If it is set, blindly it will add. It doesn't care about whether a values existed or not. Simply, if you are added 10 times same Dilip, same 10 times it will be added Dilip, 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 Dilip like that. Okay. So that is the nature of list. So now this is all about you are going to do the things. And you know that. That's what I'm telling you. Coding wise, there will not be any difference, guys. String set. Okay. So see here. I just completed. Now you can iterate it. Like you know how to iterate it and all. You can see the values one by one also. Now let's see some basic operations also. What and all we can do on this. So set, add, you know that. Now you are adding simply value. Size means knowing the size. So what is this add all? It's all about adding one more set to this set. Now my point here it is showing something like collection. Something like collection. So anything related to collection family. But the point here it is see I have array list. Okay, and then I'm adding list dot add Dilip. Okay, list dot Suresh and list dot Naresh and list dot what I will do here it is I'll take a different name. So I'll just take something like Trump. So now tell me, can I add this array list to this set or not? Or this set to this array list or not? So both are having string values. So when data type is matching, can we make sure this set being added to this array list, or array list is being added to this set. So adding set to set, we know it's a common. We did in the array list also. So that's why now what I'm doing in this case is maybe some reason I want to add this list of values to the set interface. Can we do that, or means yes, we can do that. See here, set dot add all of list. So what you are passing list of objects. But now my point is again what is the size of list? Once this operate, okay, finally compiler is not showing any issue, right? So then what is the size of this set? What is the size of this set? I think it's listening my voice, man. This intelligent. So observe whenever I'm saying like what is the size, it is indicating same thing. Whenever I said like adding the value, it is indicating something. I mean, I'm not sure what the guys are doing it. But anyway, good. Saving a lot of time for typing. So, okay. So now what will happen size point of view? So you know that it will try to add one by one by one value to the existing set. So by the time Dilip is already there, so it will not add it or maybe override it. So Suresh is already there. So it will also duplicate value. Naresh is also duplicate. When it comes to Trump, it's a unique value. So that means finally what will happen once this line execution is completed, only Trump is added. How? Because these three values are already existed. So that means now the size will become 7 plus 1, 8. Set size. Now the set size will become 8. Why? Only Trump is added. So finally it is showing the behavior of that one. What? List is added to set here. Understand the point. List added to set. If you are doing list dot add all of set. So now in this case, what is the size of list? So in this case, set being added to list. So that means by the time list level 4 values and set level 7 values, 4 plus 7 total 11 values will be available and including duplication also. Because it's a list. Total 11 values will be available in the list now. Sorry, we have to print a list size. It's a very basic and fundamental things only, guys. Okay, what is this? Okay, spelling mistake. Okay, so it's a very basic things only we are doing. So see here, it's 12. 8 plus 4, 12. Yeah, previous set, we added set here, right? Sorry, by the time already set is updated with 8. So by the time 8 and 8 plus 4, 12. So that is all. Now let's see any other operations on the set. I'm not going to explain again about clear. Clear means removing all the values. So fine. Mm, okay, I'll take one more Java class. Okay, so you are clear now what's happening in the duplicates point of view and all, how many values available. Okay, fine. So now let's see the remaining operations point of view. Total 7 values, and you know what are the 7 values and everything. Okay, fine. Okay, so now set dot add, size, clear, contains, yes, just checking whether value existed or not. So simply Suresh is existed or not. So if existed, so for example, I'm checking ABC name is existed or not. If existed, true. Otherwise, false. Otherwise, false. So sys out of it will return Boolean value. The method return type is what? Contains Boolean. So Boolean result will come. So if available, true, or else false. So what you are saying? False. That means ABC is not available. Now I'm checking Dilip is available or not. So it's all same. That's what I told you. Methods wise, same with respect to list and set, all this point of view, but internal behavior is different. And okay, let's take again set dot any other methods contains all. You want to check at a time more than one value. Dilip, Suresh, all values available or not. Like that. If all are matching, then it will give. So at a time checking more than one value. Contains means only one value checking at a time. Contains all means you are checking at a time more than one value. Like that. Okay. So equals method, you know that. What is an equals? So when you want to make sure equals and hash code contract we discussed earlier, and a very important interview question is there. Now we will come back to equals and hash code method one more time. So is empty means just checking set is having any values or not. Yes, our set is having 8 values. That means it will return false. If it is having only 0 values, then it will return true. So just checking set is empty or not. Iterator means yes. So let's take the iterator. Then you will get what, guys? Iterator object. You will get a iterator object. So iterator of what you will get? Yeah, iterator object you will get now. So iterator of what type of values it is having? String values. If you are having integer, integer. So then similarly, like what we did, itr dot has next, okay, and itr dot next value. Replaced with for loop also. So they are saying, but anyway, that's what they are saying. Like instead of using iterator, you can use enhanced for loop or nothing but for each loop. Okay, for each loop we are already used here. Enhanced for loop. So now you got iterator point of view also. Okay, so then set dot is empty. Remove means removing a value. Now, for example, I am giving Dilip. So what will happen now? Dilip value will be removed from the after remove. It's very crazy. So after remove, that capital, I mean Dilip value is gone. So because we just remove operation, so we know that. Now set dot clear means removing all the values. Okay, that you know that. Yeah. So remove all means collection means removing more than one value at a time. Remove all. Retain all means which are not matching, those will be you are removing. So matching, remove all means matching one will be removed. Retain all means which are not matching, those will be removed. Just know the difference between these two, just applying the things. We discussed with the array list also. Yeah, split iterator not required. To array means converting your set to array type. Set to array type. So same we did in the array list also. So that's why I said in array list point of view, whatever I taken each and every method very clearly, individually, internally what's happening point of view and with an example. Now here I'm just skipping means you have to do it. So stream API we will see it later. Predicate we will see. Stream and all stream API. We will see stream API very soon. Once we are done with hash map, then we will start the stream API. Then we will see this stream and all. Yeah, wait and all, wait, notify all, multi-threading related. We will discuss that. So that means what you understood from overall this. set and has a, so set and list. So in this case, what you have to observe here it is, that's what I said, similar to list only, list functionalities only. But only thing is, set will allow set will not allow duplicates, list will allow duplicates. So if you are adding duplicate values again and again, it will not allow. So yeah, demo 2, I will take one more class. I'll take in this case, yeah. So see here, I'm taking a new set integer has set object only I created. I'm adding values. Okay. So in this case, I added 1 to 10. Okay. But I will do what I will do. Same thing. Just showcase that. Like I'm adding 5 one more time. And then I'm adding 8 one more time. So then what will happen? Finally, you added 12 values, but size will become 10 only because 5 and 7 is 8 is added 2 times. So then size will become only 10 only. So our list dot size, sorry, set dot size. Okay, this is okay. Oh, what happened? Okay, so see here, size 10, size 10 only. So that means these two are eliminated. Okay, and any other methods we missed here? Okay, so this is how you are doing basic operations in the set. Now let's come back to the tree set. What is the difference between set and tree set? We will try to understand. Okay, so I'm just talking about tree set. Yeah, so what I will do is first of all, before, yeah, I'll take for, okay. So in this case, what you have to observe is I'm just printing the values. Okay, and what I will do is I'll make jumbling order, some values like 10, 2, 3, 1, 6, whatever it is. So it's just like 15 something. So now I'm printing the value. Just observe the things. This is the main difference between set and, sorry, hash set and tree set. Other than that, remaining everything is same like that. So what exactly you can observe what's happening. First of all, I am taking what hash set only. Hash set object. Okay. So hash set wise set overall it is a set. It will allow only unique values. Now what is the size in this case? 9. Size is 9. Okay, size is 9. That's clear. And as well as what happened if you observe in this case. It is hanging. Yeah, give me a moment. The editor got stuck. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So see here, I'll take the difference between now what we are discussing here it is. So we understood HashSet, TreeSet both are implemented classes of set, but there is a important one of the important interview question is the main difference between HashSet and TreeSet. This is one of the interview question, and after that I'll discuss one more top interview question also. I mean subject as well as interview point of view also I'm discussing. So what exactly it is? Let's try to understand. For example, let's take like this class. So if you're taking individual tree set, you will try to understand in this case. Okay. So first I am taking has set. Okay. And then I'm creating string of values and it's all about has set. Fine. Now has set dot. I'm adding a values something like mm, Dilip. Okay. So here I will add like something like Anil has set dot add. Then I'll take again some kind of value like Naresh and then Alice. Okay. So this is the hash set. Okay. So now what will happen? The moment. So how many values will be added is Dilip will be added, Suresh is added, Anil is added, Naresh is added, Alice added, Bob also added, but Anil will not be added. So this is the default nature. So that means duplicate value it is eliminated. Finally, that's okay. That is expected. Okay. So let's see now until this. If you see here, same thing. As expected, Anil value is available only one time, even though we added two times. Okay. So now same thing if I'm writing with respect to tree set, what is the behavior? Just try to see. So definitely tree set will not allow duplicate values. So, but still there it is having some important important point in this case. Let's try to understand what it is let's, for example, I'm creating tree set object and it is all about tree set and this is all about tree set. Okay, cool. And I'm adding same values to the tree set also, same. Okay, and then I'm printing tree set. So you can only observe and you can only just try to understand what is the main difference in this case. Is one of the main difference. So both are set classes only, hash map and tree set. So same values I added in the same order point of view, hash set and tree set. But tree set is having some small advantage in this case. What is, try to understand, if you observe the output, what happened in this case? Sorted. Yes, that's sort. So that is the main advantage of trees. So if you taken the output of from the above one, so the and you have to okay. So see, has set point of view, what happened? Dilip, you don't have any sorting order. You don't have any sorting order. But the same values when you add it to the tree set, it's the moment you are adding the values, it is doing two things. One is, point number one is, so the default nature is allowing the duplicate. Duplicate checks it is doing, allowing, okay, eliminating the duplicates. That even HashSet is also doing. Second thing is the most important in point added in the tree set is sorting. So why sorting? That's what earlier you saw, right? So set is the interface and from the set interface sorted set is the child interface is there and from that tree set class is implemented. Tree set class is implemented from that. So sorted set. So that means in this case sorting is enabled. So in this case sorting is enabled. So that means now how to choose either hash set or tree set means what you have to do in this case is when you want to allow, okay, you don't want to allow duplicate means it's okay. You can directly choose either hash set or tree set. But the point here it is no duplicates and as well as whenever I am adding the content, okay, while adding the content, so values has to be sorted in the sorting order. By default, the values should be added in the sorting order. So it has to maintain always a sorting order. Then it's better you have to go with TreeSet. So that it is duplicates not allowing based on the set interface formula as well as the one extra quality in the tree set is sorting order. This is the only main difference between hash set and tree set point of view. Okay, so other than that, both are same. Remaining all methods, operations, whatever remove, contains all, remove all, retain all, everything is same. Only thing is it's having extra benefit of sorting. So that's why you are seeing the content being sorted in an order. A alphabetical order point of view, A came, B came, D, N, Suresh like that. So in the alphabetical order, but I given in different order. While adding the values, I am not followed any sorting order. So, but still internally just maintaining sorting order when it is a tree set. Okay. So this is all the difference between hash set and tree set point of view you have to explain. And otherwise rest all are same. There is no small difference in the thing. Okay. Now here I'll give you one note. and I'll please remember and please explore it later once I am explaining about hash map. What it is HashSet internally uses hash map concept. So why I given this note is this is also one of the topmost interview question. Okay. So that means simply they will ask you, can you explain how HashSet internally working? So when you're adding the values, how it is eliminating, how it is eliminating duplicates. I mean, how it is eliminating the duplicate means how it is identifying the duplicates, and finally how it is making sure like no duplicates are available. So that means internally how hash set is working. This is one of the interview question, and one more topmost interview question is how hash map working internally. We are not moved as of now hash map. We will move to it today, tomorrow. But I'm just giving you the heads up. These are all very, very interview questions. I mean, very much in topmost interview questions. How hash map working internally? How hash map working internally? So in this case, first you should know how hash map is working internally. First of all, you should know what is a hash map. That I will explain tomorrow. That's why I'm telling you this question's not for today. Maybe you just note down. So how hash map is working means you have to know it. And then you can easily understand how HashSet is working internally, because HashSet internally using hash map concept, hash map techniques, whatever we are going to see in the hash map level. And by using that hash map concept, it is just eliminating, identifying the duplicates, and it's just avoiding the duplicate values, maintaining only unique values. Internally, it is using hash map, hash set internally using finally hash map only. But again, an individual question point of view, how hash map is working internally. So that these are all interview questions, correlated interview questions like that people will ask, and they will ask sometimes hash set versus tree set, what are the differences and all. This is one of the thing you have to explain. And now with respect to hash set point of view itself, I am discussing one of the top interview, one of the topmost top. I mean, it's a concept as well as interview question also. I can see many of the times as an interview question rather than concept in the real time application. So that's why I'm pressing this word like interview question. But yeah, sometimes in real time applications also, you have to do this. Not sometimes, most of the times. Okay. So now my point is what HashSet is saying, either HashSet or TreeSet is said, or set interface point of view. Let's come back. This next 15-20 minutes, just concentrate. So what is the point? Whatever we did so far is very simple operations, like what we did in the list and all. Only thing is we understood like, okay, finally it's not allowing duplicates. Okay, now whether it is a hash set or tree set, okay, or tree set, whatever it is, what we understood, it's not allowing the duplicate values, not allowing duplicates. Okay, cool. So far what data types we are tested, data types we are tested is string as well as integer, I think. Okay, yeah, we tested string and integer. Okay, cool. So that whenever you added Dilip two times, it's not allowed. Whenever you added one or two, one value two times, three times, it's not allowed. It's finally maintaining only one value in the hash set or tree set. Okay, cool. Fine. So that means I can say like in this case, string plus the primitive data type data, you will see this behavior. Primitives. Okay, but there is a challenge with the non-primitives. This is the interview question they will ask you. They will ask you what it is. If I have a non-primitive data type, nothing but a class, nothing but a class. So assume user defined class only. I'll take as a student only. So what is the interview? What is the concept in this case? Not only interview question, concept here it is. For example, I created a student object like this. Student object like this. S1 equal to, okay, S1 point of view, I have 1 comma, student name Dilip, one is student ID and name is Dilip, and he got marks like 100 or whatever it, 100 marks or whatever. Now I created one more student objects. Okay. So I created one more student object S2, and the student is ID is 2, and I'm taking like in this case Alice, and he got marks like 99. And I'm creating one more student object S, okay, S3, and ID is 3, and he is the person something like Suresh, and as well as he is having marks like 88. And now I'm creating one more object S4, and I entered again same Dilip 1, Dilip 100 only. So in this case, the content is again same, but I created a new object S4. Okay, object wise new object, but content wise same content it is already inserted, and S5. So now here I'll take like 4 and something like I'll take like Bob, and then values he got like 90 marks or something. Now in this case, overall, as a primitive non-primitive point of view, I created objects. Generally class means it's only object. So you will create always only objects. So when I'm storing objects in the array list earlier, array list by default will allow duplicates. You know that how to store the values in the array list. We saw that with a non-primitive data type. So similarly, you will create object now. Now what you will do in this case, you will create a object like this, has set of student. Okay, something like students equal to new has set of student. So the generic type is what you are giving student, nothing but you are storing student objects. This is the thing we will do. Now, what is the point here? It is if I am adding the above objects, if I am adding the above objects like students dot add like S1, similarly, okay, so S2, S3, S4, S5. Okay, this is the use case one. This is the use case one. And next use case is one more question from the same concept. One more use case I'll is if I added maybe like this. S1, S2. So I have this data with respect to student class, and I created objects like this S1, S2, S3, S4. First use case is if I added these 5 objects S1, S2, S3, S4, S5 to my HashSet object. Now what is the size of an array? What is the size of an array? And if I added like this, what is the size of an array? So one point we have to remember is string will, or sorry, set will not allow duplicates. Nothing but hash set should not allow duplicates. So when it is string and primitives, it's okay. But non-primitives point of view, now I have data like this. Now in this case, when I added only S1, S2, S3, S4, what is the size of array? And as well as if I added again S1 and S2, two times I added. Two times I added S1 and S2. So now what is the size of array? Let's try to see it. Okay, so let's take a class and let's take the main method. Okay, fine. So let's do one thing. So what I will do, first I'll create a student class. We have to create student class, right? Yeah. So let's create a student class also, new Java class student. I'll create. So in this case, what are the properties we expected? Private, integer, ID, string name. Okay, so I can take marks. You can take more number of properties also. Okay, fine. So now in this case, just three properties I have taken. Let me make it as a Pojo class. Okay, so what I will do in this case is first I'll generate the constructor by using okay default constructor as well as all parameterized constructor also will create. It's a Pojo class just. Okay, so I selected all parameterized constructor, default constructor as well as I'll write setter getters also, generate setter getters, getter and setter. Okay, fine. So simple setter getter methods we did. It's a simple Pojo class. Same thing we did in the array list also, guys. Okay. Now with respect to the HashSet, this is what is going to happen. Let's try to understand. Okay. Now let's create the HashSet object. Okay, cool. And let's import HashSet also. Okay, fine. So now let's create student 5 objects as per our data only we'll create it. Student S1 equal to new student. Okay. Then I'll take data from here itself. Okay, cool. Okay, total 5 objects I thought, right? Let's take data from here. S2 is all about this data and S3 is all about this data. S4 is all about this data. Okay, S5 is again this data. Okay, so this is what data we expected and this is the HashSet object we created. Now, now HashSet behavior is what it should not allow duplicate content. Now with respect to that, first use case is what I said. If I made this, what is the size of an array? So let's print the size now. Students dot size. So why I'm asking size here it is how many objects added to the hash set. That is what point here it is. So that is what the point here it is. How many hash sets are, how many objects are added. So let's see here and let's try to understand what's happening in this case. If you see here, size is 5. That means what happened? All 5 objects are added, right? Okay, cool. So let's take this. Very, very important. In real-time scenarios also you will get this most of the times, guys. And even this is the one of the topmost interview question. For experience also especially. Okay. So now my question here it is. The size you got 5. In this case, finally, what is the size you got means 5. That means all 5 are added. But HashSet is saying no duplicates. So based on that, if you consider here, okay, object wise S1 is okay. S5 in the memory point of view, now any one of you knows this concept, you have to tell. So with respect to S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S5 objects, I have okay. So S1 point of view, I have 1, Dilip, and 100. So S2 okay, S3 okay, S5 okay, and S4 point of view also I have 1, Dilip, and 100. So these are all having different data. Now in this case, when I said when HashSet is not allowing duplicates, then why it's not checking, the point here it is, why it's not verifying the content of the objects. It just what it is doing, you are added S1. So in the HashSet level, S1 is added, S2 is added, S3 is added, S4 is added, S5 is added. Where in the HashSet? In the HashSet. But my point is, when comparing with the data point of view, the real data, objects wise, maybe two objects I entered, S1 comma S4. In this case, S1 comma S4 I entered. But when it comes to the data point of view, when it comes to the data, the real data inside this objects, as it is same data, as it is same data, 1 comma Dilip comma 100. Then why it's not checking? So that means in this case, what's the formula it is failing? It is adding duplicates. It is adding duplicates. It is adding duplicates. Okay. Okay. So now why, how it is adding? So that means my point is ultimately when I added S1 and S4, one at okay, either S1. So what should happen? What I am expecting in this case is either S1 comma S4 should be available, but not both. So that means only one time one Dilip 100 values, content wise only one object should be allowed. Only one object should be added. Either S1 or S4, okay, whatever it is. But finally only one should be allowed with respect to 1 comma Dilip comma 100. So that is what the behavior I'm expecting. But it's not happening. That's why you see size as 5. Or you can print it. You can print also. Okay, let me print it. So you know toString method, right? Let me add toString also so that I no need to write that setter getter and all for printing purpose. See guys, whatever I am taking here, everything I explained in the olden days. Okay, and maybe in previous classes point of view. So you should not be in a situation like what I am writing today, and you should not feel like what I am writing. What is this toString? Why Dilip sir is writing all these things? I can't help you. Okay, I'm taking very real time knowledge. I don't help you. So now the thing is what I'm doing, just printing student here. Just observe the things, what's happening now. So same content. You will observe student Dilip, Dilip. See, same content added two times in the same asset. My point of view is only one time this should be added. That is use case number one. Now second use case. Okay, in this case, I given S1, S2, S3, S4 unique object references. But second use case point of view, I'm saying like I added S1 and S2 one more time. Then what is the size of an array? So what I will do is I'll add same here. Second use case point of view. So now I added S1 and S2. Now let's understand this size again and let's execute the same program one more time. What happened? What is the size? Is it 5 or 7? Okay, first use case we understood 5. It is added the content wise duplicate also. Now in this case what happened? You added S1 and S2 again to the same asset. Then it's not added. Why? The reason is with respect to map object reference point of view, okay, with respect to reference ID, object name point of view, it identified as S1 is already there. so not added. Similarly, it is identified as S2 is already there, S2 is already there, so that's why it's not added. So that means somehow it is identified when you given the what same object references, same object references. But when it is failing to check the duplicate, in this case it is okay. When you added S1 and S2 point of view, S1 and S2 object IDs point of view or object names point of view, it's okay. It's identifying okay, S1 is there, S2 is there, so don't add like that. That's why these two are not added. But in previous use case point of view, okay, especially what's happening in this case, when it comes to the content wise, okay, if I added S4, so for example, assume I created again S6 like this, S6 new object, and I entered data 3 comma Alice comma 99. So what happened again in this case? Overall, unique students wise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 students only. But unfortunately, you got 2 objects extra which are having duplicate data. So objects are having duplicate data. But in this case, if I added again students add dot size, I mean 6, S6, then what happened? The size is becoming 6. Size of an array is 6. But what has set is promising, set is saying it will not allow duplicates, but it is allowing duplicates. So what you have to do in this case? So then what has set is saying in this case is, yes, when you are using non-primitive classes and when you are dealing with HashSet, when you are storing objects inside the HashSet, and if you want to make sure content wise also, references wise, okay, it's not, it's eliminating. If you are adding, in this case, again, like S1 and S2 one more time also, it these four are not added one more time. Why? Reference S1, S2 point of it is identifying. The problem is content wise it's not identifying. So 2 Alice 99, sorry, oh sorry, here I have to add 2. Okay, 2 Alice 99 point of view, 2 Alice 99 point of view, already one object is there. 1 Dilip 100 point of view, 1 Dilip 100 point of view, already one object is there. Even though I have 6 objects as it is, but I want to filter only values wise also unique objects only. So that means somehow I have to eliminate duplicate data. Okay, so that means only unique point of view, total 4 objects should be available. Same data should not be repeated. So in such case, what HashSet is saying is, so can you tell me from your previous concepts, I said when content of two objects is same, then please make sure, their hash code reference also same. So when I explained this point, do you remember? So when I explained, do you remember this point? So okay, comparing two objects content. So if both objects content is, so how you are deciding? Okay, leave about a hash set collection framework. Previously we discussed one concept, and the concept is all about comparing content of two objects. Content of two objects. If content is same, if content is same, if content is same, okay. So we have to make sure those two one. Okay, if content is same, make sure hash code value also same like that. Something, one concept we discussed. Do you remember it? Contract between equals and hash code. Yes, exactly correct sign. So yes, we discussed right equals method and hash code methods point of view. I said at that time the moment why you will use equals method for checking content, comparing the content of in between two objects, checking content. When equals method is saying content is same, content is same, and then you have to make sure hash code value for those two objects returning same. Hash code should be same. It should return same value. And if content is not same, that means somewhat there is a difference between content wise, not same, then hash code value should not be same. Like that, we discussed a concept. I'm not going back. Just go back and revise the concept if you forget it. So that means what in this case HashSet is saying is please override HashSet and hashcode methods. Sorry, please override equals and hashcode methods based on above principle, that equals and hashcode contract point of view. Please override equals and hashcode methods based on the above contract. So this one extra step you have to do that. So that means what you have to do now, go to the student class. It's all which objects? Student objects. Go to the student class and you have to override equals and hashcode. This is the answer they will expect in the interviews. So they will give you the scenario. They will ask you what is the size of hash set now. If you say 5, okay, 6, then they will ask why it's having duplicate content, how to eliminate it. So how can I eliminate this duplicate content? That means finally I have to make sure only 4 objects are available with respect to content. Then what is the thing I have to follow? Then you have to tell them like, yes, in the student class we have to override equals and hashcode method, and then you have to explain what is the equals method importance, what is the hashcode method importance, and what is the contract between equals and hashcode. Like this you have to explain them. This is the answer they will expect. Okay, so how I'm overriding here, it is I'm taking help of this one only, equals and hashcode methods. Here I'm taking. So see here, equals method wise what it is checking, ID, marks as well as name, right? Similarly hashcode point of view, then it is taking care of so individual ID point of view. Now let's see, you just go back. I am not explaining, that's what I told you. Now I've overridden both hashcode and equals in the student. Now let's go back to the class non-primitives level. Now let's try to understand, execute the program. I'm not done any changes in this case. Now earlier you got size what 5. Okay. Now let's see what is the size. Now what you see, size is 4. And what you observe, Dilip, content wise also it's added only 1. So that means now similarly, if I am adding again Suresh also one more time, the content wise, okay, so S6, and then content wise, yeah, 4 only, but object wise S6. Total 6 objects you are adding. Now students dot add S6. If you don't have equals and hash code, what will happen? So Suresh is added 2 times content wise. So S3, S6, 2 individual objects in the JVM memory. That I know that we know that. S3 is a individual object in the JVM memory. S6 is also individual memory in the JVM memory. But the point is, when these are added to the hash set level, when we are adding at hash set level, we have to compare the content also. So based on the content, I decided like S3 is having same content, S6 is also having same content. So let's allow only one at a time. Like that, you have to make sure. So you have to make only one object is finally added into hash set. To achieve this behavior, what you have to do? You have to override equals and hash code methods in that respective classes. If you are not added again, then the size will become 6. If you are not added, then what is the size now? 6. So that means all duplicate content is allowing. So see, Dilip added 2 times, Suresh is added 2 times. So if I added Dilip 100 times, yes, it will add 100 times. But the moment we are added, equals and hash code methods are overridden. Okay, then what is happening? It's checking it started checking content. That means internally has set is always executing equals and hash code methods of that respective objects. So if you are not overriding default logic, whatever implemented in the object class, that will be executed. So based on that, it is not doing any comparison. Simply it is just passing and it is adding duplicate also. But now the moment you added, okay, so save all changes. So what happened now? Okay, Suresh wise, sorry, 4, I think I given wrong 4 here. That's why, okay. Now, okay, that is also clear. See here, Suresh is added 2 times. Why? Maybe, who knows? There is a same Suresh and there are 2 Suresh people available in the thing and their IDs are different. A small difference is there, ID wise, like that. So you want to compare only based on the ID point of view, then equals method you have to make sure based on the only ID point of view. So you don't want to compare names and okay, only ID point of view you want to see, then you have to make sure like this. Only ID wise you have to write override equals and hash code. Now what will happen in this case? Only IDs will be considered. Yes, sometimes it is possible, right? Same Dilip and same person is available like that. So now IDs wise what will happen? 1, 2, 3, 4 is available. Only 1, 2, 3, 4 students are available. IDs wise 1, 2, 3, 4. The remaining all considering as a duplicate data, like that. So please practice this example. It's most important also. Okay. So with this, same behavior you will see in the tree set also. You can please practice in the tree set. Okay. So that what you have to do is same. Please do with tree set. Please do with TreeSet. In this case, whatever the hash code value you are, I mean equals value are overriding, equals method in the respective student point of view. Based on that, internally the data is also sorted. Data is also sorted. Okay, data is also sorted. So just observe the behavior with TreeSet also. Same, just now if I'm changing a TreeSet, that's all. My example is completed. So if you want to see TreeSet, okay, let's execute. Okay, so in this case, it's a different exception, class cast. Student cannot be cast to class. Okay, okay. So in this case, it has to, okay, I'll come back this. Comparable and comparator. There is a concept available, comparable and comparator. One small topic is there, then I will explain. Then you have to, so that means simple. A student class should override with comparable interface internally. Okay, it has to extend the comparable. Then only you can use TreeSet. That I will do that. Okay, so leave about TreeSet. When I am explaining comparable, then you will come to know that. Okay, so I'll explain comparable and comparator later. Okay, let me make a note. Okay, it's part of collections only, comparable and comparator. Okay, so I'll explain this also. Then you will come to know that. Okay, so why this exception? Only try with HashSet only and just try to observe that duplicate content is not being allowed. Okay. Yeah, in this case, TreeSet is has to override, sorry, implement the comparable interface. That we will see that. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So with this, we are done with the set, guys. Tomorrow, I'll start with hash map. So that means map interface. Simply map interface. So that means we will see what is a map interface, what is a hash map, what is a uh, remap and all. We will see tomorrow. And this is also one of the important topic. Let's see.